Hey guys, what's up? This is Jojo and I'm doing this just because I'm bored. So I'm going to be going over the first 5 things you need to do in Genshin Impact. Here we go. First thing you need to do is you need to pack rat everything. Anything that you can collect, you should be collecting, especially food items. You need a lot of the fowl or the chicken or bird, whatever you want to call it. Then you need a lot of the sweet flowers. Because there's that one dish that you can build in Genshin Impact called the Sweet Madame. All you need is 2 fowl, 2 sweet flower. It is a 2-star dish. It will restore 20 to 24% of max HP and an additional 900 to 1500 HP to the selected character. I am at AR 55 on my main account, and this is my most used food product. Mostly because this is the easiest to make in a short amount of time. Like, you can collect fowl and you can collect sweet flowers very easily, like just in regular gameplay. There's birds everywhere and there's sweet flowers in almost every single area in Genshin Impact. So you need to pack rat everything. Mint is a good thing to get a lot of because a lot of things take mint. When you unlock the teapot later, you can use mint to make the blue dye. Raw meat is another good thing to pack rat because just like with the fowl, you can pretty much find boars and stuff and then other animals. And then when you get to Sumeru, you can get a lot more meat more easily. Because at the end of the day, you need to be able to heal yourself, and that is one of the most important things in the game, especially if you do not have an adequate healer. And there's multiple other things that you can get that will just help you with either doing your dailies or other parts of gameplay. If an NPC asks you for something and you have like 20 of them, you can just give them however many they want. It has definitely made certain quests significantly faster for me just having things on hand. And if you plan on getting certain 5-star characters, it doesn't hurt to stock up on anything that they need for Ascension. So there's that. Number 2 on the list is you need to buff Noelle. Now this is going to be controversial as there are better shield characters and there are better healers in the game. However, you get Noelle for free when you spin for her. And her defense, her shield, and her healing all buff from her defense. So the first thing you need to do, throw on some halfway decent artifacts, buff her defense as much as possible, buff her shield talent as much as possible. And this is very controversial, but in my opinion, considering she's a free character and her buff is so significant when you get her up to a high enough level, she will save you in multiple fights. Like, she saved my team so many times with her healing ability. Her E and her Q are definitely good together because she will generate even more healing when you put those two together. But at the bare minimum, if you have her defense so high, even if you don't use her shield, sometimes she's just a good throwaway character in a fight. Like, you don't want your main DPS characters to die, so maybe you switch to her and wait for her shield. So even if she dies, she wasn't really main DPS, so you can still continue the fight. And in my opinion, it's a little bit easier to resurrect Noelle because she's not main DPS. So her combination of defense and healing is something that you cannot pass up. One of the first things you need to do with her after you do all that is build the white blind. You can build this at any forge and you will get the stuff to build it throughout gameplay normally. That is one of the first weapons that I would recommend building just because it definitely helps her. After that, you need to buff the Traveler, another controversial thing, because there are better characters you can get. However, as a beginning player, the Traveler is going to be the best thing you got for quite a while, unless you get really lucky on spins. Now, I would have to say, out of all his abilities, there's only 3 that are any good. Animo is decent. His Geo is great because you can take advantage of the double Geo stat with Noelle if you have Noelle on your team, which you should. Because unless you have another shield character or another healer, you really don't have anything else to protect you. So the double Geo would be Enduring Rock. It increases shield strength by 15%. Additionally, characters protected by a shield will have the following special characteristics. Damage dealt increases by 15%. Dealing damage to all enemies will decrease their Geo res by 20% for 15 seconds. So double Geo on your team is a must in the beginning. Granted, the Travelers E and Q are pretty mediocre, but in a double Geo team, you're really focusing on those shields. And so Dendro would be the third. Dendro is new, but I believe Dendro is the Traveler's strongest ability. Dendro Traveler is a great fit for almost any team. Now, for number 4, I got Unlock Xiaoling. You can get her by doing the Spiral Abyss. Now, out of all the beginning characters, even if you don't like Noelle, even if you don't like the Traveler, chances are Xiaoling will stay with you till the end. I use her regularly in the Spiral Abyss at AR-55 just because with the proper artifacts, she is a very good character. She's decent for DPS, but more importantly, you can put a lot of pyro damage on with her, and that's great. And number 5 on the list, you gotta ignore Amber, guys. Yeah, I know she's the first free character you get. Yeah, I know you might be tempted to level her up. I would say level her up the bare minimum. On my second account, I only have her up to level 20 while everyone else are level 40s. Just because you do need her strong enough so she doesn't die immediately in a battle. Because sometimes you do need a bow character. So I would have to say do the bare minimum with Amber until you unlock a better bow character, which is basically any bow character in the game. If you have the chance, I would spin for Vayntee in the new 3.1 coming up, because Vayntee is probably the best bow character in my opinion. That's all I got. Jojo out.